More often than not, I have a really hard time picking out an outfit, but Armoire makes getting dressed super easy. With a clothing rental membership from Armoire, build the perfect wardrobe with brands that are high quality, unique, and recommended just for you. All you have to do is take a 5-minute style quiz and select items from your dynamic, personalized closet. The styles show up at your door in as little as 2 days. Then when you're ready for new clothes, just swap them out for more new to you styles. I'm currently on this dress kick, but not just any dress, dresses with cutouts. And I was so excited to find quite a few on Armoire that I'm able to rotate between beach outings, brunches, and of course, walking my dog in style. Right now, for our listeners, you can give Armoire a try and get up to 50% off your first month. That's up to $125 off. Just visit armoire.style/dateable. That is armoire.style, spelled ARMOIRE.style/DATEABLE, and get up to 50% off your first month. And never worry about what to wear again. Try Armoire today.
I don't know about you, but I always struggle with cravings and bloating that time of month and just feel a little off when I get my period. This is something that's been a challenge for me for a very long time, and I recently started taking Hormone Harmony to manage my PMS, and it really supports my hormonal balance and regulation. I feel like since I've been using it, my sleep quality has improved, and it's relieved some of my mood swings. And the biggest benefit, feeling like myself again. That's what women mention over and over in their reviews. And there are 17,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. Women cannot stop talking about it on social media. Literally, a bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. Happy Mammoth, the company that created Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to making women's lives easier. It has 0 sugar and it's gluten-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, and third-party tested. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code DATEABLE at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code DATEABLE for 15% off today. Hello, everyone. Julie here for a Quickie. We've been hard at work creating some guides and tools to meet people where they are in their dating journeys and give more tailored advice and support. And in the process of doing this, I stumbled across something I actually kind of forgot about. And this was when I was in the thick of heartbreak 2 times. And I must have read somewhere to write letters to my ex, not to actually send them, but as a way to help with the whole letting go process. And I was wondering, has anyone else ever done this? I really found it to be so instrumental at the time to one, just to get it all out. And then also to come to terms with the breakup, because in both instances, I realized I was mourning more than just the person, but the life I thought I was going to have with them. And also mourning the fact that I was back to being single, which we all know that dating is hard. So I actually liked finding these letters now. I'm not going to lie, it made me quite emotional. Having this written artifact of just showing how much growth has happened over the last couple years and how I actually got to where I wanted to be. At the time, it just felt so utterly hopeless when I was in the thick of it. So to see that it actually came true, like hopefully that gives you hope that one day you can be writing these letters to your ex, bawling your eyes out at a Pete's coffee shop, which is a true story. And then the next, you can be reading these letters years later, bawling your eyes out at how far you've come. So what's in the letters? I'm clearly not going to read the entire thing because 1, it's embarrassing. And then 2, you probably don't care about all the nitty gritty details, or maybe you do because you're nosy. But either way, I'm going to give you kind of the Cliff Notes version and you can decide what goes into your own letter that works for you. So I actually had 2 iterations of the letter during 2 different breakups. The first one was with my ex that I've talked about on this podcast many times, the one that, I truly thought was the one that spanned over 5 years on again, off again. So in this letter, I titled it My Acceptance, and it started with, "This is me letting you go. This is me accepting that we don't have a future together." And then I went into specifics, also accepting the reasons we broke up, that they almost don't matter because at the end of the day, the commitment to make it work wasn't there. There's also acceptance of missing them and grieving all the good parts of our relationship. The most powerful part though, and I remember when I was writing this, it just made me be like, fuck, it all hit when I wrote this part. So I'm going to read this part. this is my conceptualization that someday I'm going to have a wedding and you will not be there. That someday I'm going to find someone else that makes me happy and will be there for me. Someone else will pick out my wedding ring. Someone else's family will be celebrating our matrimony. Someone else's friends will be in our wedding party. One day I'll share my life and happiness with someone other than you. And I don't know. I think there's just something that hits so hard about writing that down because you're like, I really am going to experience all this. It's not getting taken away from me because this relationship didn't work out. And I'm going to experience it with someone else because even if this person couldn't be that person. And at the end, I made sure to wrap it up by wishing him the best and also like what I learned from the relationship and our time together. And I think this is really key to not be bitter, but also to be grateful of what you did get to experience together, even if it wasn't forever. So at the end, this is me saying goodbye and then your ex's name. Especially because of the nature of this relationship, the on again, off again, I think accepting it was over was really important for me. So this format really worked. The second letter was to my ex that was a shorter relationship. This one was about like 6 months, so not nearly as long or even as serious, but I did have a lot of feelings and it kind of ended abruptly because this was the guy that had to leave the US and go back to the UK due to visa reasons. So this letter started with all our memories together and how grateful it was that he came into my life. One, because we had a great time together, but also it helped me see that there were other people out there outside of the ex I mentioned earlier, where I'd gotten so caught up for so many years. I also went into all the good things in pretty detail, actually, but it's kind of fun to read now. And then I also went into, though, what I didn't like about our relationship and some of the needs that I had that I was afraid to bring up at the time that were unsaid. I think especially because this one was a newer and, shorter relationship, I did suppress a lot and also just where I was at that stage in my life. And again, because this letter wasn't being sent, it was really important for me to bring up some of this unsaid stuff because it helped me identify what was important for a future relationship and also recognize that, yeah, of course, we broke up because of these very external reasons of a visa. But at the end of the day, like maybe this wasn't actually the best long-term match anyways, which could help set me free. I did end on the note of what I appreciated and learned from this experience, similar to the other letter I mentioned above, because at the end of the day, the goal of the letters is to help you move forward and grow. So I think really want to emphasize, like, even if it's the shittiest of shit breakups, putting it onto the positive of what you got from this experience is the energy you want to be putting out there. So it is really powerful, I think, to look back at both of these letters and see what was missing and how it's so present in my current relationship. I think these letters helped bring the clarity to what I needed in a partner so I could look for that. It also allowed me to appreciate all the good times along my love journey. I think it's so easy to be like, that was a waste of time. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And I talked about this on another Quickie, but being able to see like positives from all these experiences and have that go into like who you pick the next time around and all that is equally as important as taking what you didn't like from the person. I also could see that none of this was time wasted and it got me to exactly where I needed to be. So like I mentioned up top, we're working on these tools and support systems, so stay tuned. There will be more templates if you want to create your own letter and letting go ceremony. But for now, just write whatever comes to mind. Like you can use the format I even shared briefly on this, Google it, or just word vomit. Just put it all out there. I know some people love to handwrite this, but I personally find writing in a journal a bit daunting because my handwriting is utter shit. So I actually have these in Google Docs, and that's why I was able to find them so easily. I had uploaded them to Dropbox and I literally search letter and they come up. So you can find it years later to remind yourself of how far you've come. So send that letter to your ex. Just don't actually send it. Or you do you. But maybe don't send it. The goal is to help you, not to necessarily get it to them. So stay tuned for this week's brunch talk on Sunday because it's a good one. And of course, remember to pre-order our book, How to Be Dateable. Pre-orders truly matter so much to get our message out in the world, and we can't wait for you to get your copy the day it comes out in January. January is coming quicker than we thought, so it's a movement. We can do it together, and yeah, let's do this. Also, finding your person if you're ready to say goodbye to that ex for good and to find the right person for you. Definitely check out our program. Registration is open until October 6th for this cohort or whenever the spot's filled. So if you are interested, make sure to get on it today at dateablepodcast.com/programs. Link is also in the show notes. Okay, well, hope this helped and have a great weekend. Bye.